their streak, never having missed a World Cup qualification alive as they win 1-0 over Paraguay, punching their ticket to the 2026 World Cup in the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. As we take a look at the CONMEBOL table at the moment, of course, Argentina well clear. They, along with Ecuador and Brazil, have already clinched a spot in next summer's big tournament. Let's hear from Carlo Ancelotti after the big win.
Muy bonitos, en todos los sentidos, muy bonitos. El recibimiento del pueblo brasileño hoy en los estadios. Me han regalado un montón de camisetas. El ambiente dentro de la CBF, que es un ambiente fantástico, una familia. La actitud de los jugadores, la buena actitud, el buen rollo que tienen los jugadores entre ellos. Me ha gustado todo. Faltaba, como he dicho, solo la victoria. Lo hemos conseguido, entonces vamos felices.
All right, Frank Leboeuf still with us. Joining us now, Gab Marcotti. Gab, Carlo Ancelotti, your boy shows up. Everything's fixed in Brazil, right?
Yeah, exactly. 2 games, 2 clean sheets, 4 points. What were they worrying about? Of course he's got this sorted. I mean, look, I think, we saw a little bit of a development compared to the first game, having an attacking midfielder in there like Matias Cunha behind the striker. That was at home against Paraguay. That all makes sense. I think he's generally playing it safe so far. He wants to familiarize himself with the choices he has. He didn't actually pick this first squad. I think we all pretty much know that. But then once he was there, he kind of went with the flow. He's keeping things simple and trying to drive things with his personality while he's there. There'll be time to work on things, time to maybe for major surgery, possibly. But he was never going to do this in this first sort of international window.
Don, how significant is it that it was indeed Vinny, who's kind of Ancelotti's guy from Real Madrid, that gets the goal here?
Yeah, but I thought Rafinha was the star of the show watching the game. Yeah. I thought just listening to Ancelotti there, he's an intelligent guy. We've just seen Pochettino waffle on. I mean, I know he got a defeat and, there's a different side of it when you get a win to a defeat. But when he sits there, he talks well, he speaks well. He mentioned the fans, he mentioned the beautiful reception, the beautiful reception that he's got inside the stadium. So he says all the right things. He's very experienced. He knows exactly what he's doing. And he's got a terrific opportunity, but he's got some really good players to work with.
Everybody's bright and breezy and got a smile and everybody's attitude's great and it feels like a family. That wasn't happening for the last, how long?
Yeah, I mean, every time we had Gustavo Hoffman on from Brazil, we would apologize to him because
exactly.
It was bad
So
news.
it tells you that the talent is there, but all they need is somebody to put that talent in the right places and in the right formation at the right time and in the right game to make a difference. Because it's no coincidence, 2 clean sheets.
Mm-hmm. After 4 straight without a clean sheet. And shipping 4 against Argentina in the game before he took over, yeah.
Because everybody's listening. Everybody wants to do well. Everybody, when a manager like Carlo Ancelotti walks in the door, everybody can run a little bit quicker. They get that extra half yard all of a sudden is there that wasn't there with the previous guy. And unfortunately, the previous manager clearly wasn't respected by the players. I think that's one thing that's obvious from the performances, or the attitude, certainly off and on the field. So it's upwards and onwards for Carlo Ancelotti.
Frank, like 6 months ago, I don't think many of us would have considered Brazil a World Cup favorite. Now that you've seen these 2 games, now that you know it's going to be Carlo Ancelotti in charge, do you see a situation where maybe a month out of the World Cup, we're talking about this Brazil team as a World Cup favorite again?
Well, if you know football, you always know that you have to accept the fact that Brazil can be one of the contenders. They always qualified, and even if 6 months ago it was hard, I would say that with the fact that Ancelotti is not the coach, everything's going to change. Stevie was alluding it. Everybody's scared, as fears, in front of Ancelotti. So they want to perform. So they stick to each other. They try to find the chemistry, and we can feel that, and we can see that defensively they work harder. That offensively they try to find each other. So it's a different spirit, and it's the right choice. I mean, I always said that that for big countries like Brazil, France, England, and Italy, some others, you shouldn't get a foreign coach. But for Brazil, and especially because you get maybe the best coach in the world, that's only fair. That's okay, because you needed a revolution. You needed to find a way to make the players sticking to each other, because individually they're very good, but they had to find, or they have to find, because it's not still healed, but they had to find the chemistry.
Go ahead, Gab.
Yeah, I was just looking at those odds, and for me, having them as second favorites seems very, very excessive. Who am I at this time anyway? Because let's not forget. So far, he's come in, he's played it safe. What condition will Casemiro be in come the World Cup? Is this somebody you want to go back to? He's gone with the guys he has relationships with. That's fine. Matheus Cunha, is he going to be flavor of the month after a year at Old Trafford? I don't know. You look at the back, Alexandro down that left-hand side. Marquinhos is a year older. There's just a lot of little things that he's going to sort out. I would not be surprised if Brazil do get to a World Cup final or win it. I would not be surprised if a lot of these guys are no longer there, or maybe playing in different positions. Is Vini at center forward? Is this actually something that he's planning to do with the national team? Especially since we think he's going to continue playing, out wide on the left. So I think this is kind of a short-term thing. Let's get the clean sheets. Let's get the points. Let's settle in. And now let me go and learn about these players, learn who's out there. Is there going to be space for Estevao? Is there going to be space for Rodrigo when he comes back? And try to answer those questions. So I think it's kind of premature to have them as second favorites, and so far ahead of France as well. What would Jules say?
What would Jules say indeed?